the ABCs of Bad Movies, which is a podcast where we watch bad movies in alphabetical order. I'm Alex.
I'm Jeff.
Is that good enough for you?
Some people call me El Jefe.
Because he's the big boss man.
El Jefe Grande.
Mm-hmm. The Big Jeff. That's what that means.
Yep. Congrats. Wow. All right. Bilingual. Here we come.
I'm ready for a beer.
Cerveza.
Oh, the letter this week is X.
For xylophone. X for...
That's the movie.
Triple X.
No, we're not watching Triple X today.
X for...
This show's about bad movies, Grace.
Xavier. X for... There's no... Like, I'm trying to think of, like, words that, like, have X, start with X, but the X is silent, and it doesn't really happen.
Xerox, yeah. That's a good one. Xanadu.
Xanax.
Another movie we're not
X
watching
for
today.
Xanax and Monster.
A perfect combination.
If your name is Kyle.
Balance your uppers with your downers. That's what they always say.
That's right.
Coffee and beer. That's what I tend to drink.
That's basically Four Loko.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Caffeine and alcohol.
Just a hot...
That's why
Get a hot
Red Bull
coffee.
vodkas are just so amazing.
Get a hot coffee and, like, Smirnoff. And that's a Four Loko.
Oh,
or
man,
four
yeah.
Smirnoffs.
Well, if you have like hot chocolate and some Baileys, now that's primo.
This isn't the ABCs of good drinks. So I don't know what you're doing.
Bad movies.
Trying to suggest good drinks.
Bad movies.
I wonder if our drinks are going to be good this week. Stands for X.
Cerveza.
Whatever. I'll get the beer then.
All right.
X.
You go get the beer. I'll keep talking. Please. Look how nice I am.
Yeah. Clapping in my face.
So this podcast, we are on the letter X, which means we are including this 3 whole podcasts away from season numero uno, otherwise known as season number 1.
Season Jeff.
So, seasoned Jeff? Did you say?
Season of Jeff.
Season of Jeff. Season number 1, the season of Jeff. And we're almost done here, folks. And it is mid-October, 2019. Having the time of our lives. Drinking beer. The peanuts are drinking wine. We've had quite a crazy year, and I can't wait to recap it with you.
Yeah. That'll be the last thing we do.
So, Alex, what do you have for us tonight?
I picked this beer because I like the can art, and it's got a fun name, too. It's called Drafty Kilt. Scotch
Oh, it's the Drafty Kilt, lad.
There's a breeze going up my bones.
That's how it's supposed to be, lad. We don't wear no pansy underwear.
Pansy, it's for pansies. Ooh.
Do you want a koozie?
I want to show off this amazing
Yeah, you know
can.
what? This is too good for a koozie.
Good color scheme.
I wish I had a tie like this, to be honest. I'd probably wear it.
That's a kilt. That's not bad. Tastes like a Scotch ale to me.
Tastes like a Scotch nutsack. I mean ale. I mean ass. I mean,
a draft up my balls.
with the wind, it's nice.
Taste me draft.
Drafty kilt. Taste the balls.
Let me rub it on your face. This kilt is so drafty.
Although, it's made in Atlanta, Georgia.
Ah, fuck. We're wasting our time.
Home of the Scots. Atlanta, Georgia.
I got a draft in my kilt. I don't know how to...
You done got me a draft in my kilt. Hey, you ever seen them Scots?
They don't talk like that in Atlanta.
Not in Atlanta, no.
I went to the Coke Museum in Atlanta once.
Did you do a line?
No. The other Coca-Cola Museum.
Yeah, okay.
Did do a line.
They put cocaine in it back in the day,
They
so
used
it might be
to.
in the museum.
Yeah.
I didn't know. It's like, hey, try what an old Coke would be like.
And then you have to take a shot of Coca-Cola syrup.
Yes, just a
Just a
high
syrup.
fructose
Yeah.
corn syrup.
It's like when you do like tequila, like you You like
caramel dye.
lick the salt and then take the shot of tequila and then you bite the lime.
Yep.
Blow a line of Coke. You take the syrup and then you get a seltzer like splashed in your face.
Perfect. High pressurized seltzer just. Psh.
Mm-hmm. Like out of the little guns.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what you do in Atlanta, Georgia.
All right, so I was explaining that we're on the letter X, almost done here, season 1, and if you've been listening to this podcast, well then, thanks a lot. We also stream live on Twitch, so you can watch us live on Friday evenings. Join our Discord. For more info. It's pretty dead, so please come and make it alive. It is Halloween, so resurrecting it would be appropriate.
Oh, spoopy.
Yeah, resurrecting it would be appropriate. So
Yeah. Nothing scares me more than social net media.
and social networking and social settings.
Any kind of networking or social situations for me is very frightening.
Boo! That was a scary boo, not a boo. You suck.
I think he's heckling.
All
which
right,
is fine.
so
So X, the Man with the X-Ray Eyes, directed by Roger Corman, and it stars
horror film.
Ray Milland, Diana Vandervils, and Harold S. Stone. So how fun is that?
Cool. You know what I really hope happens in this movie?
I hope to see a man look through a woman's clothes. That's what I want.
I hope that they went through the science of this and actually he's just going around giving everyone cancer.
That would be fun too. I can write those two things down if you want. You want
Let's
me to
do it.
write those down before
We
start?
got the horny Superman power, and then we also have the real world. I'm gonna give you cancer power.
Just give me a sec as I write down these notes.
That's a very accurate one. Audience, you know what he wrote down? Take a wild guess. He said he gonna look at some titties. That's what.
Well, here's the thing. 1963. I don't think people had cancer back then.
You don't think they had titties back then?
No, cancer.
Oh.
Because they were too busy dying. Way too young.
No, they definitely had cancer. Because nuclear bombs were a thing.
It doesn't sound like it makes any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It means there's been a lot of nuclear accidents.
Yeah, I had one in the bathroom just a couple hours ago. Nuclear accident. I ate a really spicy piece of chicken. And
Good.
It exploded out of my asshole.
Hey, we have someone who says they've seen the movie.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, this. I mean, it's. Let's do some math. It's 56 years old. This movie.
Wow, hand me the controller.
This one.
No. No. Yes.
All right. We're gonna watch. We're gonna watch X, the man with the X-ray eyes.
What up, Tech Me Out? Tech
Me out tonight.
Ball
Oh,
game.
we did this the last time, and we did the same songs.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna try this here.
We're gonna watch a movie. Whenever you're ready.
Excellent, Doctor. Doctor? Doctor.
This was what the 60s was like, a bunch of white dudes calling each other doctor and complimenting each other.
That's what I do at work.
It'll be 20 years until AIDS hits us.
I've just been exposed to great amounts of uranium.
I've been staring at X-rays. Love it.
I've been boiling this eyeball for 27 days.
In
now
chemical.
I can see everything.
In Science Chemical. Wow, the monkey did it. Roger Corman trained a monkey. Just lit a cigarette in a science lab with a Bunsen burner. It's so 1960s. It's blowing my mind. I've always found an attraction to monkeys that can see through walls. Flying cars.
Humans will have vision to see the whole gambit of light.
We still won't have AIDS. Like we currently don't. Oh, wow. No. That's not an adult in the bed. Why did he have to lower the blanket to do that? He can see through flesh and clothes and cloth.
At will.
I just want to unblanket you just for a minute, little boy. It's the 60s. No one's ever died of a surgery ever. And we don't have AIDS. It's a big jazz band Look at they're swinging. Yeah, you're only a third of my age, and we're both in the 60s.
But I could.
Oh no! No! The whole room?
You're gonna be looking at some titties.
Oh my god, it's the whole room he's doing it.
He's like, oh, I just saw a dong.
He's such a little pervert.
Look at that stupid smile she just had.
We didn't see it. The audience didn't see it, but he definitely looked at some titties. Oh, everyone's naked now.
Balls.
I didn't want to see gonads. Nice cock. Or does it make him stronger in the X-ray powers?
Makes him stronger.
I probably almost passed out because I'm a giant fucking pussy, Jeff.
Like, you're a gaper? Let me look at your beepus.
Beepus. I can see your beepus. I shall see your beepus, Sam. It may be
can see the
1963, but our love can live
cavity.
on. We don't have AIDS yet.
With knowledge, there's power. Look at that. That's the great eyeballs comes great X-ray titties. Beepuses.
Yeah. Oh my god! He just killed Sam!
What? What?
I can't fucking believe it.
Back in the day when carpet was in the middle of every single hospital. Can you imagine a 1960s carpeted hospital?
Is he working at a freak show? Yeah, he's at a freak show. That's Don Rickles. That's a young Don Rickles.
I used to be a doctor, don't you know? I used to go to swing parties, and I
Yes.
didn't know how to dance. That's not healing.
He's like, you should become a faith healer. How cool would that be?
I like how you said you wanted the money, didn't you? Goes to Ginger. You said you wanted the money, Ginger.
Ginger, listen, Ginger. You got the sight. You've got the hands.
You got the eyeballs.
You've got those magical eyeballs. Did he actually see something? The problem with this looking into the bodies is I can't tell what's going on.
You mean you're not a doctor?
Your insides are hand-drawn.
What?
They went to fucking Las Vegas.
They're gonna get married in Vegas, dude.
He's gonna count cards to make some money to go to Mexico, so that he can escape a murder charge for having X-ray eyes. I've realized that the secret concoction is 1 part water, 2 parts X-ray, 2 parts heroin.
And 1 part piss to make it yellow. Yeah, I don't know how he's driving. Look at those gremlin eyes, man. Why are you looking at the helicopter? You don't need to look at it to know it's there. Looks like a remote control helicopter. Ah, he can't follow me in this tunnel. Oh wait, he didn't even go off the thing. He just like turned his car once. How is that all he did? Why is there stuff here? How did he just arrive in a town? He was in the middle of nowhere in the desert. So he got in a car accident. Big whoop. And now all of a sudden he's out of town. He's stumbling around. Look, and this guy's gonna open his eyes. He's gonna have devil eyes.
I said it at the beginning of the movie. He said he's gonna see God. Get your baseball bats. We gotta beat this black-eyed boy to death.
If your eye offends it, pluck it out. Everyone now, grab your spoons. What? What? What?
He literally ripped out his own eyes. So, we know this for a fact. If you put X-ray eye drops in your eyeballs, or you unknowingly fuck your mom for years, you're gonna end up ripping your own eyes out. That's what we've learned from art.
What was the second part?
If you fuck your own mother unknowingly for years.
Why do you know this?
'Cause I'm well read.
Okay. And we're back.
Hey, we're back.
It's the ABC's of Bad Movies here with Alex and Hefe, and we are here on the letter X.
Wow.
Commentary is over, movie is over. We are here to talk about the movie that started with the letter X.
And that movie was X. The man
With
with
X-ray
the X-ray
vision.
eyes.
Same thing. I said the same title.
Wow. Wow. Oh, wow.
So this is how the show goes. We're going to give a plot synopsis as best we can. Then we're going to do some trivia. And then we're going to have some random thoughts. And then we're going to do some recommendations. Yeah.
It's a four-part show.
Four-parter.
It's a show in 4 acts.
That's right. Not 3 axes.
Yeah.
Wow, I think we're really into it right now tonight. Folks.
I'd like to point out that I did not know it when I bought these Scotch ales. 7.2%.
Is it weird that I don't feel it?
You don't feel it because you've had almost 3 of them. And then I've moved on to Kirin Ichiban, which is a nice Japanese beer.
Is it Japanese or is it a different Asian entity?
It's Japanese.
Okay.
Sure. So we're going to do plot synopsis.
Now it's time for a plot synopsis. It's time to give our plot synopsis. Nothing rhymes with plot synopsis. Yeah.
What the fuck happened in this movie?
There's a man who's not a cyclopsis. Nailed it. So, all right. So I will give the entire summary of this movie in like a paragraph.
There is also not a rhinoceros. Kind of.
That works. Good job. Good inclusion. And you're on key. So if you cut that, if you did a hard cut there and you included yourself, it would actually match. Do it. You won't.
I might try. Probably won't.
I think you can make it work. I believe in you. I believe in you.
I could.
I mean, we haven't had an episode released in like months on our on the actual podcast.
Yeah. I mean, it takes like 8 fucking hours to do one.
And it's not like I've done any video either, so. All right, so here we go. Here's this whole synopsis of this movie.
Okay, you're going to do it in 1 sentence.
No, in a paragraph. So at least 3 sentences, but no more than 10.
Okay.
Dr. James Xavier is creating a drug because he wants mankind to see beyond visible light into and through the gamma spectrum, the gamma ray spectrum. Now he makes and tests a formula on a poor little monkey.
Formula?
A formula. On a poor little monkey who sees too much, although proves the formula works, and then dies. Then
the monkey's seen too much.
Then Dr. James Xavier decides, human trials on myself. I'll do it. So then he puts these piss drops in.
Give me my pee jar, I was about to say.
And with the help of a female doctor and his own eye doctor, he puts these drops in his eyes, and then he can immediately see the spectrum, to which we find out that the effects, so he does get x-ray vision, but he finds out the effects of this are quote-unquote compound, even though that's not necessarily true.
Cumulative,
yes. So he has to continually put drops in his eyes at X amount of time periods to continue having x-ray vision. So his powers become great, and he goes and sees a young patient, and he sees through and says, hey, doctor, your diagnosis for stenosis, whatever it was, is incorrect. She actually has a tumor behind her heart.
You said that she had a stenographer in her heart. That was wrong.
And
it's not actually a person who types out minutes at a courtroom hearing. It's actually a tumor.
And the doctor's like, screw you. I'm a doctor, and I'm sticking with my surgery.
You might be a doctor, but I, too, am a doctor.
Doctor? And
listen,
so
doctor.
I'm going through, and you can't stop me, but I want you to be there to stop me. So during the surgery, he proceeds...
He didn't say that, though.
No. But that was essentially the vibe that was passed on.
I didn't get that. I thought the doctor was like, you're fucking nuts.
Come watch this, and you'll see as
that's
stenographer.
I feel
a
like
stenographer in her heart.
I'm gonna rip a fucking stenographer out of this girl.
So X-Ray Man here decides to commandeer the surgery, proves that there is a tumor, does what he can, and then essentially is threatened for malpractice by the main doctor who he threatened.
Yeah.
In a side room, after the surgery, James Xavier's eye doctor tries to dissuade him from continuing use of the product, of this prototype product. To which Xavier throws him out of a window, in which this is our scene that is displayed now.
Yeah. Yeah. Accidentally.
Now, as a fugitive, he decides to join the circus as X-Ray Man. Basically, he as Mr. I Can See All. And so he joins the circus and becomes successful and has a hype man. And then the hype man...
He joins the circus. The hype man is Don Rickles.
Yep. And the hype man is basically like, I can make a lot of money off this guy. And this guy needs a lot of money. So...
Well, initially, Don Rickles is doing this with him for like a month or so. And he just thinks that the guy's pulling some kind of con. Yep. And he's just like part of it, right? Where he gets people into the tent, and then the guy does the con, and because he helped get people into the tent, he gets a cut of the money. And then he's like, "No, I can really see shit. It's crazy."
But then he notices, he's like, "Oh, maybe this is real, or maybe half legit because
some girl falls off a Ferris wheel or some shit." and the doctor knows exactly what's like, injured, and it's like
she's got a broken leg, broken shoulder, and a broken third rib.
And Don Rickles doesn't quite understand, but he's like, "I know what you are.
Ow!
You're a faith healer.
Ow!
You've got the touch. You've got the touch. You've got the touch."
Like, what the fuck was that?
I was doing a bit.
I know, but you actually gave me a good smack.
But it was controlled. We have a director behind the camera that tells us what to do.
So then they decide, okay, we're gonna do our own healing thing because the doctor still needs to make money, and why not? I guess. So Don Rickles brings in old people to be diagnosed, and Mr. X-Ray Man keeps doing his thing, keeps adding these drops in his eyes, and the more and more like kind of intense it gets, like now he needs like sunglasses and like
he needs
blinders.
The blind people glasses. Yeah, he needs the blinders.
And he's finally like he's actually getting the effects of like, oh, I can't freaking sleep at night because I can see through my damn eyelids. So then the female doctor from before finally finds him and is like, hey, I keep getting these patients that know exactly what's wrong with them. I know it had to be you, Mr. X-Ray Man.
Yeah.
Basically
it's like these effects are adding up, and he's just like kind of addicted to it, and wants to see through things more, which adds up where he seems like kind of depressed working the scam with Don Rickles.
Yeah, so then the lady doctor basically comes and exposes him, kind of, but it's also like, come with me, like let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So
they run away.
They go to a casino.
Don Rickles screams at him as he leaves, and then we never see Don Rickles again, sadly.
Yeah. They go to Las Vegas, and he's like, I'll use my powers in Las Vegas. Well, that's what
was a really great scene, too, is them in the car, and he goes, there's an ocean of gold in the desert.
Across the desert, and only
I can figure it out.
I am the one man that can do it.
Are they going to Las Vegas right now?
Well, the first thing we said was Dubai.
As a joke. But then I realized what he meant.
Across the world.
And I don't think Dubai was anything back then.
So
I mean, there wasn't even AIDS in America yet.
So they go to Vegas.
Was there Dubai?
And he basically rips off everything. And then
he wins a bunch of money,
And
is very arrogant about it.
Yeah.
Like, not even playing smart where he loses sometimes. Like, he just never loses, to the point where the whole casino stops
and
to watch him win every time. To the point where he's telling other people at the blackjack table what to do, whether to hit or stay, so that they all win against the dealer. And then the pit boss is like, "Man, we want to talk to you, see, in the back room with the baseball bat
and
the
spikes.
Rope and the spikes
on the baseball bat."
Spiked baseball bat.
Nailed ball bat. So then he goes on the run, and somehow is managing to drive a vehicle, even though his eyes are black.
Oh yeah, his glasses fall off, and he's got black eyes with like gold irises and like gold pupil, or like gold iris and black pupil, and it's
Really
creepy. It looked good, considering some good color contacts for 63.
Yeah. So then he's on the
And then
run
he
in his
drives.
car, and a helicopter's following him. He goes through a
Yeah,
tunnel,
there was a helicopter.
and then he gets in a car crash, and then he stumbles along and basically finds this church in a tent. And the cops finally reach him, but the pastor's preaching about sin, and we hate sin. And then they're like, "Come take communion," and he's basically. And then Xavier goes up to the front, and he's like, "Are you a sinner?" It's like, "I have seen." Well, I am not, but let me tell you what I have seen. Almost like a prophet would.
Yeah.
I think like a prophet would. And he's like, "In the center of the universe is an eye, and it sees all." And then they're like, Matthew chapter 5. If your eye is something, pluck it out.
Then
And
get your
they're all
rusty spoon.
like, pluck it out, pluck it out, pluck it out, pluck it out, pluck it out. Everyone's chanting. And then it like green screens his eyes out.
Yeah,
Red.
there's about. It's not even a full second of a shot. It's probably like 10 frames where it's his red eyes, where it's supposed to be his eyes are ripped out. Very cleanly by his own hands.
That's how you do it, you know.
Credits.
Roll credits.
What a
So
film.
that's the movie.
What a movie. Man. That one took me for a bit of a ride. I really liked the black eyes. Because when he's talking to the pastor, his eyes aren't even have like the gold irises anymore. They're just entirely black.
Yep.
Which looked cool.
Creepy as hell.
It's
Imagine
like
if you're the pastor and like some dude with like,
he was just leaning over the podium like, "Oh, hey, bud. Nice.
"Are you a sinner with your black eyes?"
I have seen everything."
It's like, "You're Satan."
Do you like my tent? Do you like my full tent full of rabid fans? That was really confusing for me too, because that guy did not seem like a speaker who would gather a crowd that is that enthusiastic.
No. He's like, "What do we want? No sin. When do
You
we
see-
want it? Now."
He seemed kind of tired. He was like leaning on the podium. He's like, what do we not like? And everyone's like, "Sin!" It's like, what do we like? God! It's
Who
like-
do we love? The Lord.
And he's just like, yeah. It seemed like he was like just at the point where he was about to retire from being a pastor. I don't know if pastors retire.
It's like I almost got
But he's
my
like,
Social Security going.
I'm 2 days away from retirement, like whatever. And then black-eyed Dr. Xavier walks in, and he's like, "Just fucking rip your eyes out, man. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. I don't give a fuck."
It's like, you see the town I'm preaching in. You see this tent I'm in. You see this
This is all I've got left. Is
organ
this
I got
tent.
playing.
I was able to afford 48 wicker foldable chairs, and somehow people found it and sat in them and screamed at me.
We're the tunnel town. That's who we are. We're the tunnel town.
What is the tunnel
Town on
town?
the other side of the tunnel that he went through.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a reference to something.
Nope. Now it's time for some trivia.
I think I could find a budget for this. I think it's popular enough where I can find a budget for it. You want to do a budget?
Yep. Do whatever you can, sir.
It's a Roger Corman movie, right? And it's also 63. So let's try to think in $63. This was a time when people worked for $6 an hour, and it's like the equivalent of like,
It's also during the space race.
yeah, probably less important, but good thing to think about context-wise.
Well, I say that because today I looked up how much money it costs to build certain buildings over at Kennedy Space Center.
$13, $14.
An hour.
So thinking that, I'm going to say that Roger Corman had a budget of $30 $5,000. That's what I'm gonna say. What about you, Jeff? What do you say?
I'm gonna actually say $75,000.
$75,000. Wow.
We got 800K in the chat.
That's gonna be wrong. That's wrong for sure.
So I got a
Don Rickles doesn't cost that much.
I got a NASA trivia for you. How much money was it to build the VAB, the Vehicle Assembly Building, back in the 50s and 60s? Anybody? Any guesses? No. 60 million back in the 60s? That's a guess. Anything?
To build just the structure.
The entire VAB.
But nothing was inside.
Nope.
At
The
first.
VAB as a building.
Yeah, but with the inside or no?
What do you mean with not with components and stuff, but as the VAB is now? How much was it to make?
3 million.
Alex, you got a guess?
$50.
No, it's terribly wrong. It was $300 million in the 60s. How much would it cost to remake the VAB today?
I don't know.
As of February 2nd, 2019.
With all the cranes and stuff.
Everything. To make the entire building
crane
over again.
itself, I know, was
Today.
Millions of the big crane.
Hmm? What'd you say? 1 billion?
Like 800 million.
I wasn't listening to the question.
How much
You
would
don't
it
have to
cost?
ask again. $500 million.
$1.878 billion.
Insane. I could see why.
$1 billion.
Yep.
You ready for
You know how many
actual?
square feet the VAB is?
Bigger than a baseball field. Oh, the top.
The entire square footage of the building.
So cubic footage.
The volume.
No, square feet.
So where you can walk around.
Yeah.
Well, it changes every single day.
60, 70
70 what?
million. I'll give you a big old 200. You know what? 500,000.
500,000 square feet? That's big.
Yeah.
That's big.
The same guess as what the price it cost. It was $1 per
I'll
square
give you
foot.
perspective. The Blue Origins facility is 400,000 square feet.
Oh, man. 900,000 square feet.
Anything?
You're
Bedtime
having a
square
bad
feet?
time?
You keep talking about something that doesn't have to do with the podcast.
It's trivia.
It is technically trivia, not about the movie. But it is technically trivia.
I have no answer.
It's 1 point.
You let her get away with that? I tried to do that before and you didn't say anything. You complained.
Well,
You made a face.
she is who she is.
Oh, come on. It's true.
How you are, then maybe.
What do you mean how I am?
It's 1 point something million square feet. Almost 2 million square feet.
It's ever changing.
Ever changing, she says.
So if you think about it, so square feet for the 1.8 billion
leaves
dollars.
blowing through the wind. Ever changing.
Okay, let's go. You got any trivia, sir?
Actual budget was $280,000. So you win. Price is Right rules wise.
I win. Wiener. I'm the wiener.
There is a box office on record. It is not in monetary value. It is in tickets sold in France. That's the record that we have here.
Okay.
So
I'll
how
go-
many-
I'll give it a go.
How many tickets were sold in the box office in France for this movie? And it is down to the actual. It's down to the one.
Okay. 283,596.
Wow. The actual answer is
500.
53,087
Oh, she was right.
tickets.
20,000.
20,000.
We have 45.5.
said 45. Well, the thing is, it made money. That amount of tickets sold made money.
Yeah, $8 a ticket, $5 a ticket.
And your trivia for that too is Roger Corman described the success of the film, which was shot in 3 weeks on a budget of under $300,000, as a miracle.
Jeez, man, that was
Like,
less
he
time
was-
than Birdemic.
Yeah, like he was shocked that it made that much money.
Shock and terror? Was he shocked and terrored?
Yeah.
Like Birdemic 2?
Let's try to look up some trivia for you. Whose idea was it for this film? Like the plot?
Like as a director or producer or something like that?
Like what person is responsible for the idea?
The main actor.
Incorrect.
Was it the woman?
No.
I don't know.
This is the director.
Oh.
You want to go get a beer to drink if we're going to play this game?
I'm still drinking.
Well, then take a drink.
Continue.
It was originally about a scientist. Then he felt that was, quote, too obvious, end quote. So he changed the protagonist to be what?
A doctor!
No. It was going to be a jazz musician who had taken too much drugs. And then Roger Corman goes on to say, I get into about 4 or 5 pages and I thought, I don't like this idea. And threw the whole thing out and started back and went to the scientist idea again.
Because it makes sense.
It's way better than a high jazz musician that can see through people's clothes. Roger Corman made this movie after his H.P. Lovecraft film adaptation called what?
Cthulhu.
No, that was a good guess, though. I'll give you that, the fact that you knew that.
Mrs. Cthulhu.
That's it, you got it.
Wrath of the Cthulhu.
Yep. The Haunted Palace.
2.
Yeah, you got it. You did it. Good job.
Octoman.
Here's
I can't think of
your
it.
next trivia question. What horror author claims there were rumors that the ending originally went further with Dr. Xavier crying out, I can still see, after gouging out his eyes?
What, horror author?
Yes.
I don't know any horror authors.
Who made the claim that there's footage where after he gouges out his eyes, he says, I can still see? Think of famous horror authors.
You're acting like I know horror. Yes, that person. Stephen King.
That's correct.
We don't like jinx.
That's the correct one.
Good job, everyone.
You did it.
No, because Twitch chat got it.
Is that rumor true?
Yes.
It is not true.
Beans.
There was not additional footage. Corman did later say, though, that is a better idea than the ending to the movie.
I can concur.
The final chase scene involving Ray Millard's erratic driving took place on Soledad Canyon Road between the cities of what and what in California? What 2 cities?
Sacramento and Los Angeles.
Very close. Santa Clarita and Action.
Wherever the hell that is.
Yeah. So take a drink for that. It is the same road where pretty much the entire film, What film, released in 1971, was filmed. I believe this film is a Steven Spielberg.
El Dorado.
Incorrect, though. The movie Duel. 1971's Duel.
What was that about?
A duel. I think it's about a car that gets chased by a truck on a highway.
Nice.
Like the car kind of messes with the truck for a bit, and the truck just whips around and starts chasing the car for the rest of the movie. And it's just some dude trying to outrun a truck on a desert road,
Nice.
which sounds pretty scary.
Would be.
You gotta hope that truck runs out of gas. They got lots of gas though.
They have way more gas than you do.
Yeah. The film originally had a blank minute prologue about the human senses. How long was the prologue? How many minutes?
11.
You know what? Because I like you so much, I will give you a range. It's between 0 and 10.
5 minutes. Because
That
there's
is
five
correct.
senses.
That is correct.
Well, there's way more than 5 senses, but that's
There's
what
around
people
26.
Say. That's
yeah.
what people say.
Here's a good trivia question. What's one of the senses that's not one of the 5 senses? Hatred was a great answer from in the back if you couldn't hear it.
Humor.
Humor, that's a good one. Do you know?
You got
A sixth
Style.
sense. Yeah, a sense of style, yeah. This is turning out better than I expected it to be. What other styles, senses do we have?
Jaws sound at end of Jaws was from Duel.
Yeah, that's a fun trivia thing too. So at the end of Duel, the truck falls off a cliff and it explodes and it makes this roaring noise, which was a slowed down like lion roar. And then Steven Spielberg used it for in every movie that he ever made after that.
Huh.
So when Jaws explodes, and as its body is like floating, it like there's this weird like roar noise. It's that noise. Yeah. Does the footage of the prologue still exist?
Apparently not, because it's all just eyeballs and
It's
other things.
You are wrong. The footage does still exist somewhere. How did the director, Roger Corman, create the effect of being able to see through a building? Remember, it was 1963. Computers did not exist.
No, I think it was there was a small like they drew real small, like on a projection piece of paper, so it was clear. And that was up against the camera, and then behind it was the real scene, and they basically just got the camera to focus on the near thing, and then focus on the far thing.
It's a pretty smart solution. You should tell Roger Corman about it. That is incorrect.
What do you do?
You want to take another guess?
Uh,
Wake it up.
he literally moved the piece of paper that was in the way.
No. They filmed the building while it was under construction.
Your dad said that.
That's how they did it. Yeah.
Your dad.
See, look at how practical.
Nice.
And it probably didn't cost a fucking penny.
Nope.
Because they were just like, we're just going to plop this camera down and we'll layer the film over itself or whatever. I don't know how cameras work.
Whatever works. Yes, multiple exposures.
What was the working title of this movie?
Xavier.
No. I'll give you one more guess. I'll say it's easier than you think it is.
X.
Yeah. Yeah, it was X.
Experimental.
What Gothic director developed a script for a remake of the film that eventually went unproduced?
Gothic director? Remake? Would that be, fuck. Who did The Nightmare Before Christmas? What's his name? Tim Burton?
That is correct.
Yes!
That is the correct answer. You got it.
Yes!
Good job.
Thank you. He did.
Good job. I'm really proud of you on that one.
Thank
Getting
you.
that one.
I'm proud of myself.
That was really good. Good job. There are 2 bands which reference this film in songs.
Bands?
Musical bands. If you give me one of them.
Beatles.
No. I'll give you a better hint. One of the bands released an album called Mask in 1981, and the other band released a song referencing it in their album Heaven Forbid in 1998. What did he answer?
Motley Crue.
That is incorrect.
Pearl Jam.
What did he say?
Motley Crue. Meatloaf.
Meatloaf would be a great answer. Also incorrect. The two bands are Bauhaus and Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh, Blue Oyster Cult's a famous band, though.
Yeah, I didn't specify if they were popular or not. If
I
the
wouldn't
fact that
have
I
gotten
even
it.
asked it,
I wouldn't have gotten it.
I wouldn't have gotten it either.
I do know Blue Oyster Cult, though.
When this movie was re-released in Spain, it only played in one city. What city was it?
Madrid.
That is correct. Woo! I don't know when this piece of trivia was made, and I'm not going to ask it as a question, but I just think it's really weird. It says Roger Corman has considered updating the film with modern special effects, or possibly remaking the film entirely. I don't think Roger Corman is still alive, so I wonder when this was written.
I think a good thought experiment would be who would be cast. Natalie Portman as the female doctor.
No, Scarlett Johansson.
Nah.
No, there's that joke now that Scarlett Johansson plays characters that she shouldn't play as a white woman.
But Natalie Portman's annoying. So that would have worked.
Natalie Portman's not annoying. I liked her in V for Vendetta.
And who would be the man? Who would be the main doctor?
Tom Hardy.
No, it can't be cool people, obviously.
I think the main doctor, I think that would work.
If you want the proper age gap,
it would be Tom Hanks.
no,
Tom Hanks.
no, because Tom Hanks is too good for this. You need someone who's willing to play a villain, right? Someone who's kind of weird and creepy. Here's what you do. A revisit of V for Vendetta. Natalie Portman as the girl doctor, and Hugo Weaving as the main doctor.
No.
Just like V for Vendetta.
No.
I think it's a great idea.
I think Tom Hanks would be a good doctor.
Hugo, Natalie, call me up. We'll remake this movie.
Oh, we got Jeff Goldblum as a possible person.
He's not creepy, though.
He's not.
He's suave. That's not what we're asking for, though. That's not what we're trying to cast. Okay.
Jeff Ross would be the perfect hype man. You'd be roasting people at the circus.
Here's your final piece of trivia. You ready?
What?
The film won the Astronave d'Argento Award in 1963 at the first International Festival of Science Fiction Film in Italy. What does the name Astronave d'Argento mean in English? You got someone who might be able to help you in the audience. No, let's see it spelled. Astronave d'Argento. D'Argento. I will give you that hint.
Star Garden.
You got part of it right. The answer is Silver Spaceship.
I got none of it right.
Starship, spaceship.
I said Star Garden.
Star, spaceship. Star Garden. It's the same, whatever.
Jeez. Alright, so now it's time. Now it's time for random thoughts. It's time for random thoughts.
Wow.
In our brains, we got stuff that's firing. And those firing things are random thoughts.
Who keeps whispering over here?
And now it's time for random thoughts. Random thoughts, random thoughts, random thoughts.
I have to pee.
Damn it.
And we're back for random thoughts.
Wow.
Oh, wow. First off, I say we get out of the predictions out of the way, because we both had predictions at the start of the movie.
Yeah. Prediction
Mine-
1 is he gonna look at some titties.
That's how I wrote it.
And that was true. He definitely looked at some titties.
I was about to say I'd be willing to have an argument if you disagreed.
He also definitely looked at some beepuses and some booties.
I could totally picture someone saying, Alex, you said he gonna look at some titties, and be like, he didn't, because we, as the audience, did not see them titties. And I'd be willing to have an argument about that. No, I'm sure some people would.
Okay, but
It was also the 60s.
yes, but it was the 60s, and they couldn't exactly show
Nudity didn't exist until the 80s.
girls.
70s.
Women didn't have boobs until they were able to show it on film.
Have
so
you ever seen
that's
the
just
boobs
science.
of those women
That's-
back then? They were like torpedoes. Torpedo tits. You ever hear of that?
No,
You're a liar.
no,
You ever hear of that?
no.
They were like, pow.
And Oscar back.
It was like
Where-
a fashionable thing, like that bras were made to look like
Like
conic,
Yes, yes, yes.
like sharp. And then in The Godfather,
I'm trying to imagine this, and it just
Well,
I'm
no,
just
no, have you seen
imagining,
The
like,
Godfather?
A cylinder-shaped tit
Like an ice cream cone, but
yeah, but on a titty, but sideways.
of the bra. Okay, yes, but not the boob itself.
Have you seen The Godfather?
The boob itself was not like
Have you
Nintendo 64, like triangular. What's her face? Tomb Raider,
That was not Nintendo 64, but Lara Croft.
PlayStation. Yeah,
Yeah.
one.
Kind of like that. Polygonal. But in The Godfather, right? The
Yeah.
movie.
Yes.
Mike, have you seen it?
No.
Why the fuck do I talk to you? When Michael marries this Italian woman,
Mm-hmm.
and then she takes her top off, and her breasts are like like waffle cones, and you're like, no way. And it's because she was wearing nipple caps to cover her actual nips, but in the fashion of the time, in the soup du jour, you know, the zeitgeist, whatever you want to call it, pointy,
That's just what
angular,
people wanted, I guess.
sharp. Imagine a paper cup at a water cooler that's a triangle thing, right?
So-
you know what I'm talking
So
about.
Lara Croft,
A conical.
PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Nice.
Polyagonal.
Exactly what every man has ever wanted.
Hey,
I love some sharp-tipped breasts.
If it does the job, who gives a shit. I'm not gonna judge any guy or any woman for liking pointy titties. All right. I'm not gonna do it because it's not right. I'm very pro body positivity. Okay. If you got because I know people don't like it when I say these things. Like, be happy with your body. Shh. All these people who say don't be happy with your body, I don't want to listen to them. It's always this angle.
Unless you're medically poor with your body, then don't be happy with your body. That's
Why
my
are you trying to
opinion.
shame the poor now?
No, that's not what I'm trying. I'm trying to shame the people that don't take care of their body in any which way or form.
I couldn't think of a person more who doesn't take care of themselves.
No, but
That's
Alex is.
ridiculous.
That's not what I'm going for. That's not.
Expands lung capacity.
That's ridiculous that you would say that. Let's move along.
What
Unless
did I
you wanna
say?
keep talk-
I said that I hope he go.
Just prediction. Yeah, go
He
ahead.
gonna kill these folks with canker. He gonna kill these folks. He's gonna give them cancer. Now, who's to say that
With
when
what?
with cancer,
I don't know that word.
with canker sores,
I don't know what was that last thing you said?
sores,
I don't know what that is.
a sore?
He gonna kill these folks with canker.
Yeah. I read it like that as a joke.
I don't get it.
obviously. Now, who's to say that he didn't look at them and immediately give that poor girl, a tumor in her heart?
I'm not gonna argue with that because it's totally legitimate. Because they never mention it, so we don't know. We don't know what's happening with these old people in the basement of a brownstone apartment
Cancer.
that Don Rickles is funneling money through. Could be giving cancer to all those old folks.
That is the beginning of the Illuminati. Tesla.
You know, the Illuminati was actually a secret society that started
BMW.
during the Renaissance, and it was a group of, like,
Intellectuals.
Yes, intellectuals, scientists, philosophers,
People who think they're
engineers,
smart.
academics. And the whole goal of the Illuminati was to promote education throughout Europe.
Sounds like a conspiracy to me, folks. What's our next random
It's
thought?
ridiculous.
What's our next random thought?
I don't have anything else written down. Like, I was going to mention Don Rickles.
Okay. What about Don Pickle Rick?
I would love to know more about where Don Rickles was in his career at the time that this movie was made. Because he's like in the scene that's paused right here where they're in the freak show.
Yes.
He's doing all these roasts, and like the scene before where he's outside, he's like throwing out jokes.
Yeah.
Like that's what he was known for. He was like a roast comedian. So he'd rip on people.
Nice.
And it seems like it was all set up for him to just crack jokes at people and make fun of people, and everyone laughs. So it seems like he was kind of established already as that kind of comedian,
Yeah.
and he was known enough,
Probably like midway through.
and
his
maybe
career, like a
not,
good 3/4,
and not
2/3.
popular enough. So Roger Corman was like, "Hey, I've got $5,000 for you if you show up for 2 days." Like, how often was he in a shot, right? Maybe a week.
It's probably happened. No,
Maybe a
probably
week.
one day.
I would say more than a day because he has a wardrobe change. And it doesn't look like he's active enough to be willing to do that. It really depends on where he was, career-wise, I think.
I think it was midway through.
But it was really great to see him.
So I think he did Twilight Zone also.
Don Rickles was in Twilight
Twilight Zone.
Zone.
He was one of the werewolves.
He was next to Taylor Lautner.
Yeah. Just shredded. Just absolutely.
Taylor Lautner shredded.
Just
No.
an absolute beefcake.
Taylor Lautner shredded, shirtless. I'm a
glistening-
werewolf. And
glistening
then
in
Don
the sun.
Rickles, old Don Rickles, with the same exact hair, just white, same vest, no shirt under it, just the vest, just rubbing Taylor Lautner as Taylor Lautner is trying to read his lines, and he's like saying weird, like making fun of people lines
Just glistening in the
off
sun.
camera, like it's a shot of like
Yes.
the vampire.
He's oiled up.
What was his name? Edward Mullen?
Cullen.
What was the vampire's name? Edward Cullen. And it's like it's a shot of Edward Cullen saying something, and then it's just Don Rickles like shitting on vampires.
I got
Off
my Asian
camera.
ass going. Wait. That's right, my Polynesian father. That's why-
Polynesian.
That's why I like Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A.
Sweet and sour sauce.
Polynesian sauce.
Why do you keep saying Polynesian?
I'm saying Polynesian.
Yeah. That's how you're supposed to say it.
Yes. We'll review the tapes later, sir.
I will. And I can cut it where it just says it over and over again.
Polynesian?
That's right on the line. You're just riding on that razor's edge. You're just like, oh,
Am I there? I don't know.
we'll see.
So my last thing is great job on costume for how they did the eyes, because probably
The
back in
makeup.
'63 that was probably really difficult to do the eyes like that. Like I almost wonder like if he didn't have like permanent eye damage.
No, it's just a color contact.
In the '60s?
Yeah. Why not? They had contact lenses back then.
No.
Yeah, they did. They absolutely did. Yeah. They might have, yeah, it was like hard contacts, but they still did.
Interesting.
My mother did too. My mother only wore them at Halloween parties when her costume would not allow her to wear glasses.
Let's see if she confirms that here.
How would you have a colored hard contact?
We didn't because it was like way smaller than America.
Yeah, and you just paint them. Just like lead-based.
Some lead-based. Some,
The only way to really paint glasses with lead-based paint, everyone knows that. And then just jam it in your eyeball. And shove it in. It's fine.
Anything else?
I love the dummy falling out of the window.
I also think we love the dances.
Yeah, we can talk about
You know
that.
the
Let me
dancer-
talk about the dummy first.
Okay.
I love seeing a dummy in a movie. And not like a stunt.
You mean like a
Like, not like a stunt double
you
doing
mean
like a fall or
a
something.
dummy that's just clothes?
Yeah, that's why I don't watch Tom Cruise movies, because he does all his own stunts. So it's a real person. I'm like, I don't care about that. When you take the time to build a mannequin and then dress it as the character,
And then just throw it
and then
around.
just chuck them off a roof and film it, so much better. And I'm really glad to see that. And it's probably cheaper than actually throwing your actor off a roof,
Yeah.
which also makes sense for Roger Corman. So I'm happy about that. Oh, we should talk about Roger Corman.
I think we should talk about what I was going to say before,
Yeah.
which I don't remember now.
It was no,
The dancing.
I didn't say that. The dancing, yeah.
Dancing reminded me exactly of. It reminded me exactly from.
It reminded me.
Caddyshack,
Okay.
the groundhog, when he's doing this dance. At the end, he's like in his hole, just like doing this thing.
Hey, we're all gonna get laid. That's more Christopher Walken than
That's exactly how the guy was dancing. That's exactly how all of them were dancing. Was like this.
what's his name? The comedian. That was in Caddyshack.
I know who you're talking about.
No, you're not asking.
The old guy, yeah, and he's always
What a
like,
crowd! What a
yeah,
crowd!
yeah. Always like smoking a cigar, or like.
I tell
drinking
you
some
what, I got
whiskey.
no respect.
Yeah, get no respect.
See again, that goes. It sounds like Christopher Walken. What's his
Yeah,
name?
your mom. Your mom was she was
Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney Dangerfield. Yeah.
yeah, I banged your mom last night. Exactly.
That's
what he
more
would say.
Christopher Walken. Ho! I fucked your mom. Oh, what a crowd! What a crowd! I got
Get no respect.
Christopher Walken coming into my mother's house and fucking her.
You'd never believe it, huh? This wise guy.
Christopher Walken, he gives me no respect.
Yeah, fucking wise guy.
Hey, what a crowd!
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Well, I was about to say something,
What was it?
and then we talked about the dancing.
Because the dancing was amazing.
Oh, Roger Corman. So Roger Corman is I mentioned it at the beginning of the commentary, but it's worth talking about in the discussion anyway. Roger Corman is an award-winning director. He's won a Lifetime Achievement Award for he's made so many fucking movies over the apparently like 40 years or so. I don't know when he died,
It'd be 50 years.
if he was still alive. Let me just see when Roger Corman died. Oh, he's still alive.
Legend.
Roger Corman is still alive. He's extremely prolific. Like, he'll just make movies, and he'll make them on a terribly low budget, and they still come out okay. Like, I would say this movie came out okay,
Yeah.
considering he only had $280,000. Like, that's really good what he got out of that, especially for 63.
Yeah.
And if you ever listen to him do like interviews, he's got this really great voice. He's got this deep voice. He's a slow talker, and he makes sure he like enunciates very well. Every single word is very clear, and you understand every syllable that he says.
Has great diction.
Yeah, he does. And it's like it's very easy to understand why he was able to maintain a career as a director in Hollywood. Just being able to casually walk up to some actor and be like, I would like you to do this for me. Today we're going to shoot a scene where you drive a car through a tunnel in the desert.
With a helicopter chasing you.
And there will be a helicopter behind you. And you will be wearing sunglasses that make you have the appearance of being blind. Can you do that for me?
You'll have black contacts on.
What was the name of the main actor in this movie? Ray? Raymond, I would like to speak to you about your scene today. And he just seems like a really sweet guy. So it's nice to see him successful. And I'm glad that we actually got to see a Roger Corman movie. Because I've heard of him. And I've seen like 1 or 2 movies that he's done.
You're ugly too.
Oh, that's a Rodney Dangerfield joke.
Hey, this crowd.
I went to my therapist. Hey, what a crowd, what a crowd. I went to my therapist and I told him I was suicidal. Now he's making me pay in advance. Oh, no respect.
Went to my doctor and he told me I was gonna die. I wanted a second opinion. He said, "You're ugly too." I
went to see my doctor and he stuck his finger up my asshole.
What's up with that?
He told me to cough.
I couldn't with his.
Go ahead.
Nope. I don't really have any other random thoughts about this movie, to be honest. I think it's about time for some R's.
Yeah, we covered the biggest things, I think. Covered Don Rickles and Roger Corman, which I'm glad that we did that. So, yeah. You want to sing us in?
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
All
I
right.
think I'll do that. I gotta think of a jam. What's a good Pitbull song? Oh, alright. We want recommendations tonight. Give me all the recommendations. For all we know, you just have a recommendation. Let's get it tonight.
Dolly.
Mr. Worldwide.
Snap it with a Kodak.
Mr. 365.
I went into the wax museum,
Uh-huh.
and there was a wax statue of Pitbull, and they're like life size.
Yeah.
And I towered over the statue of Pitbull. I can't imagine how big you would feel standing next to the wax statue of Pitbull.
Standing next to Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah, he is very small. He's really small. And they had it set up where he's like in a white suit and he's like on a yacht.
With his sunglasses?
Yes.
Yes.
He had the sunglasses on and I was like, my goodness. That is...
You know what? Pitbull is an amazing rapper. You want to know why?
Because he still is able to get people to pay him to make songs.
His songs are in every club.
Well, you want to know the truth behind that?
Because he pays them.
Pitbull owns every nightclub in the United States. Every single
don't doubt
one.
it.
Every single one he owns.
Even Razzles?
Even Razzles.
Even Freddy's?
Even Freddy's.
Even Tiffany's?
Especially Tiffany's.
What about Victoria's?
Yeah, Victoria's too, yeah.
How about Victorio's?
Victorio's he's got. Yeah, he owns it. He owns lollipops. You don't even have to ask, Jeff. He owns lollipops.
How about 509?
You know he owns 509.
I don't know. I heard a rumor that T-Pain owned it.
Pitbull is T-Pain. In blackface.
Makes sense. It all makes sense now.
He puts on blackface and he puts the dreads on. 305.
Shawty. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's right. It's all true.
5 o'clock in the morning.
Conversation got boring. Said you were going to bed soon. So I snuck off to your bedroom. And I saw Mr. 305, Dolly. Snapping with the Kodak. That was stupid. That was fucking stupid, Jeff.
Alex, I got a question for you.
All right.
Would you recommend this movie, X, The Man with X-Ray Vision.
Nope, not the
X-ray
name of the
eyes.
movie. You want to try again?
Would you recommend X, the man with the X-ray eyes?
Yeah. I would. I really love Don Rickles in this. Don Rickles really helped out a lot. And we talked about it too. Like, he really sold it. Like, he was super invested in, like, being a scummy, con man. And I really liked that. And that kind of, as I was slowly, it was petering out, and then the dummy got thrown out the window, and I was like, back. And then I was starting to dim again, and then Don Rickles showed up, and I was like, I like this. And then that kept me going. Thank you,
All right.
Don Rickles.
All
What, Jeff?
Alex?
Would you recommend X, the man with the X-ray eyes?
I would.
No, I'm surprised.
I enjoyed the fact that he decided to flee and join the circus. Because that's what you did in the 60s, you know? If just life just wasn't there for you, you just went to the circus. And you just made a life there with the trapeze-men.
You know what's weird is that's totally true.
You
Maybe
did.
not for the 60s, but there was a time where if you were a doctor who had X-ray vision and you murdered your best friend by throwing him out of a window, you would have joined a circus.
And you would have been scot-free.
And no one would have given a shit.
Nope. No one would have been able to find you.
Solid observation. Is that the only reason? Is because he joined the circus?
No, the movie held me in. It's a terrible movie, but it held me in.
I wouldn't even say it was terrible.
I would say it's a bad, good movie.
I would say it was subpar.
It's a good, bad movie?
I would say it's a very, very solid B movie.
It's a good, bad movie. Or is it a bad, good movie?
It's just a good, mediocre movie, I'd say. I wouldn't say it's a good movie by any standards.
And you wouldn't say it's a bad movie.
I don't
you
think
call
I
it
would.
A good, bad movie.
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, there you have it.
It was a good, bad movie. We did it.
Yay!
Here on the ABCs of Bad Movies, we like to say that we watch bad movies and we hope that they're good. And this time, I think we hit the nail on the head.
And it wasn't us who ripped our eyeballs out. It was the characters.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know what the future holds for you. I can,
Yet.
because I can see through your whole body.
Don't look at his feet.
You know, you'll be intimidated.
It's too late. Tubing, she said.
Yeah, just
A
like
tubing
just like,
penis.
I just
It's-
unravel and it's just.
It's what is the term? Toroidal. Toroidal.
Yes, exactly.
Big tubing.
It's like a duck's feet.
Tube bigging. You ever seen a duck's cock, Jeff?
I've heard
That's
about
the
it.
conversation that's going
I've
on
heard
next
about
to
it. I've heard
us.
it's twice the size of the duck.
Oh man, sounds like a fucking dream. Can you imagine a man with a dick that's 2 times the length of his own body?
No.
That's fucking. That would be. I would go to a freak show to see it. It would be phallic
I
for
honestly would
sure.
Probably, I'd be like, all right, I gotta see this dick.
Yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
it's just morbid curiosity.
I mean, you gotta imagine. Okay, let's say realistically there was a man who had that.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically,
Mm-hmm.
it would just be constantly flaccid forever.
Yeah.
I don't think poor man can ever have an orgasm.
It's no. You can have an orgasm while you're soft, and don't try to argue with me about it because I know it's true.
What?
I had a friend in high school who talked about it.
Speaking for a friend?
Yeah.
You speaking for
His
a friend?
name was Adam, and I'm not going to give you the last name because I don't want to cause any problems here.
Uh-huh.
I know his last name.
Uh-huh. Were you there when he had an orgasm?
When he did it, no. So I'm trusting him, but he seems like an honest guy.
I don't trust anyone in high school.
All right. When I was the same age as Adam,
Did you have a similar experience?
no.
Ah.
No, I did not. But Lost my train of thought.
Like, okay, do you think
My friend in high school said that he agreed to a bet that he would be able to orgasm 20 times in 24 hours. And it was a $20 bet. So he said that he jerked off, and he said the first 5 times, easy. 1 hour, 5 times. We were like 16. So it makes sense for a 16-year-old to be like, I can do this. It's 5 times in 1 hour. And he's like, well, I can slow the pace down. And then it reached a point where it's like 12, 13, 14 hours in, and his dick isn't just getting hard anymore, right? He's like, I don't know what to do, but he's still like trying to crank the yank. He's still trying.
crank the wank?
And it reached a point where he was trying for so long, and he had burned so much energy that he fell asleep, and he woke up, his hand was still around his flaccid dick, and there was just cum everywhere. So it was like a sleep emission, and he was like, I'm counting this. And he tried to continue, but he didn't end up winning the $20. He had to pay someone $20 for not being able to jizz 20 times in 24 hours. And that's fair. I hope you have a great night. I mean, this is just a coming of age story.
Is it?
It's a pun.
The second time we've had to hear this story.
On this podcast? Well, we'll see, because I'm the one who edits it.
I know, but it is.
And I will keep it in the first time I hear it, and I'll keep it in this time, too. I'll keep it in both times. It'll be like the one, it's like, that's how you know, like, where you are. It's like, oh, he's talking about the 20 cum story. That's the one. So I know it's this. It's a good story, because it's absolutely false. There's no way it's true. But it is entertaining to listen to. I was engaged when I heard it. And I'll be honest, my thought was, no fucking way.
All I was going back to was dude with the twice as long beepus as himself.
Yeah.
Imagine the volume of pee that would still be like there. Like you can't get it out. Like
You
just
can
can't
get it out. It's
You gotta literally take like a.
What do you mean the pee can't get out?
You gotta
we're
No.
not talking about the size of his bladder.
It's the muscles.
The musk. The
like,
muscle.
You gotta take like a roller and roll the piss out.
No, it just comes out. You relax everything
How
and
do
it
you
flows
shake?
out. You go down the line.
But it's past your arm reach.
You can yeah, you reel it in. I don't know. It's doable. If it was twice the size of your body, you could still fireman hose it back, right?
Do you wear it as a belt?
Yeah.
Can you tie it in a knot? Can you use it as a belt? Oh wow, I really like your flesh-colored belt.
Thanks,
Alex.
it's my cock.
Exactly.
Oh, come on. There's no need to be judgmental about that.
All right.
I would never judge a guy for having a dick that's 12 feet long, okay? That's all I'm saying. Never.
So this has been the ABCs of Bad Movies. Alex,
We can't end on this.
And yeah, you'll just edit it out.
I
Magic
will
of
not.
editing.
I will not.
So yeah, have a good night. Bye.
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 Bye.